and make sure it's facing towards me. Facing the front so I can see who you are. Although I probably know all of you here. Okay, ready? Good evening, everybody, and thank you, everyone, for coming in tonight for this training that is called Diversity of Lions. First, I would like to introduce myself, and I would like you guys also to introduce yourself. I would like you to say your name and which club you're from, and say something unique about yourself. So I wanted you to think about that while I'm doing my intro. Anyways, my name is Melite Wood, and I am the District Treasurer of District 4C4. I'm also the co-founder and the charter president of Bear Island Cyber Lions Club. I've been a Lion since 2015, and I have attended a lot of training and a lot of lessons learned, I should say, for Lions. I attended the Regional Lions Leadership Training in Santa Rosa, in which the second Vice District Governor of C6 was my classmate. And I attended also some multiple district training classes, and the latest was the Faculty Development Institute held in Anaheim last December. I also have completed my master's and bachelor's certification of the Lions University in 2018 in Iowa. Personally, I grew up and born, schooled, and raised in the southern part of the Philippines. I finished my studies at the Ateneo de Manila University, earning double degree of business management and in economics. I graduated as a magna cum laude. I worked there for 2 years until I followed my folks here in the US and my sister. Well, I came in here, I have worked over 30 years in finance and management with the nonprofit organization, private sector, and commercial scale industry. It's been a quite ride, so to speak. And now I am managing one of the hotels in Menlo Park. So today, as you can see, you're here so we can discuss about diversity. But before we start that, let's introduce ourselves. Let's just start from the front and turn around and introduce yourself and say which club you're from.
That's it.
Lion Roger.
Hi, good morning to the Lions.
Can you please stand up?
I was to stand. Why in the world that I'm sitting here in front and they're gonna call my name? And apparently I'm not good speaker, but I'll do the best I can.
Only two words.
One word is my name is Lion Roger Cayabyab, a lifetime member since 1999 sa First Coast Lions. And now is a co-founding with two different clubs together with my wife. But apparently, with the help with other clubs here, I don't want to mention your name, but I'm very thankful that you're always there behind us. So thank you, Yolanda, for doing this for me, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Education, I will not tell you because you said you're a cum laude, but on top of that, I'm a member of cum laude.
It's all good.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lion Roger.
My name is Yolanda Yoli Cayabyab, and I'm a member since 1992, 93. And so I'm a lifetime member of San Francisco Host Lions Club, and was the co-founder, really the one who initiated founding the Dynamic Lions Club. I think they're standing on their own now. They're already the 5th year. and I let them go on their own. So, and I don't like not doing anything, and also founded the San Francisco healthcare provider, which is, I was really enthused on do that because I graduated as Doctor of Medicine in the Philippines, but not practicing here, just doing this. And so I initiated that club, the Healthcare Provider Cyber Alliance Club, which is actually 1 year and actually probably
2 years.
1 year and 2 months. So thank you all very much for listening and giving me your 5 seconds of your time. Thank you, and let's enjoy. And I'm really excited to listen to this leader who really is calling me all the time to continue on studying. Thank you all.
Hi everyone, my name is Rob. I'm part of the Bear Island Cyber Lions Club. I've been with that club since they started with Jimmy, Melite, and Sophia here too. You're right next to me. Yeah, I just like helping people and things like that, so I'm just learning things.
My name is Sophia. I'm the charter of the Foster City Cyber Lions Club. I've been with the club since it started. I was introduced to the club by Melite. I always hear her stories of volunteering. I always want to join, and I love helping people as well. So this is a great community to be part of.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you. Michael?
Good evening, everybody. I know a lot of you. My name is Michael Kelly. I'm the current Millbrae Lions Secretary. I'm the current Millbrae Leo's Advisor and the current District 4C4 Leo's Chair. Love being a Lion, been in since 2017. And an interesting thing about me, separate from Lions, is I'm a co-founder in Millbrae of the Millbrae Anti-Racist Coalition. I'm an avowed anti-racist. I used to be a non-racist until I realized what needed to change. And diversity, near and dear to my heart. We helped Millbrae, the city of Millbrae, be recognized by the National League of Cities. The work we did, Millbrae came in second place in the country for cities up to 50,000 for our racial, social, and equity justice outreach. So this is a fantastic topic. Love that the Lions are embracing diversity. Couldn't be more proud to be part of it. Thank you very much.
And his wife makes good cookies.
And my wife asked me, I didn't know there'd be so many. I would have had her make 3 dozen instead. I'm sorry if whoever missed them. I'll bring more next time.
Line Bonnie?
Okay. My name is Bunny Macchia. I'm a member of the Burlingame Lions Club, and nothing really unique about me.
Oh.
Seriously, I'm the president at the moment, and I came to California. I was born in California, but I came to California as an adult, young adult, graduated the University of Washington in 1965. Burlingame, where I met my husband. He lived in Foster City, and he was a member of the Foster City Lions in 1971, when women could not join. And I remember that they held a Miss Foster City contest, and we wives got the great job of accompanying the contestants into their dressing rooms to ensure that they did not have any accoutrements that weren't natural. And that was the glory of, and I can remember what was really terrible about it, is I was very pregnant with my second child. And I mean, really. And I come out of the dressing room of this young woman, and there was a little boy of about 8 years old sitting there. And he looked up at me and he says, "Are you one of the contestants?" And I said, "No, honey." And children only see what they want to see. And I said, "But I will remember this, and I'll never forget you for that, because it was touched me so much, because I think that's something to make me feel better." But anyway, we connected Lions when I moved to from Los Altos to Burlingame in about the same time you joined, 2017, not 19, 2017. And after my husband passed away, and it's one of the first organizations I joined because I needed to reinvent myself. I was afraid that I would sort of just fall asleep. Los Altos is a very sleepy town, and it's very nice, but not a lot of action going on, and I needed something. So that's what I am now.
Oh,
I'm Lion Calvin Yee. I'm with the Silicon Valley Cyber Club, and we also are the sponsor of Blair Island, our little sister group. I'm basically the past president, but I'm charter secretary for life. We haven't found anybody capable of trying to keep up. And doing this class will probably help me be more diverse, and hopefully other members of my club will follow my lead after this.
Lion Carol?
Hi, I'm Lion Carroll. Sorry I'm late. I am a charter member of the San Francisco Unified Lions Club, immediate past president, Region 3 chair, environmental chairperson for the district, and what else? One unique thing about me, I've always wanted a daughter and I've never had one, so any girls, I enjoy having around me. Thank you.
PDG Lydia, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Past District Governor Lydia Taylor Bellinger. I'm a member of the Merced Heights Lions Club. I was a charter president. And the most unique thing about me that none of you know, when I worked, I was known as the principal that wore a gun. That wore a gun.
Is that true?
It's true.
It's true.
Good evening, I'm Lion Mariah Tucker, and I am excited to be your Region 4 chair as well as the Pediatric Cancer Chair for the district. And I am a member of the Bay Area Special Olympic Lions Club. And one unique thing about me is I am a 12th generation Californian.
Nice. Thank you. Lion Denise?
I am Lion Denise Kelly. I am the secretary forever of the Daly City Lions Club, as well as this year's cabinet secretary. And I don't know that there's anything all that unique about me, except I'm probably one of the most anal people in the district.
That's how you
Very organized.
one of the most.
Lion Yvonne?
I'm Lion Yvonne Cantola of the San Francisco Chinatown Lions Club. I am the current district executive director, lead trustee for Alliance Eye Foundation of California, Nevada. And the one thing that people don't really know about me, well, some people do, but I used to work in San Francisco Chinatown, and so I do speak Cantonese, and I fooled a lot of people that never knew that, and I could listen to other people speak, and they didn't know I knew what they were talking about.
Lion Email?
I'm past council chair, Lion Emo Cantor, excuse me. Public speaking.
Oh, really?
I'm a past council chair. I joined Lions in 1984. And that was about 12 years after we got married. So, that's it.
Thank you. Lion Mary Kay?
I'm Lion Mary Kay Jolly. I'm from the Half Moon Bay Lions Club. I am the spouse of Second Vice District Governor Clayton Jolly. And the thing about me that you may not know is that I was born and raised on a cattle ranch in Nevada.
Oh. Nice.
A lot of things.
Clayton Jolly from the Half Moon Bay Lions Club. everybody knows, second vice district governor. Something you may not know about me is I like to do archery.
Oh, nice.
So maybe we'll set up a fundraiser if anybody's interested in flinging some arrows.
Only at home.
You can put up any picture you want.
Almost any picture.
Line Stan?
Hi, my name is Stan Weitzman. I'm the second vice district governor from 4C6. And Mike and I met in the ROI class, and she's been a cheerleader for me ever since. When the class was done, she created a spreadsheet of everybody and all their phone numbers and emails so we could keep in touch with each other. We actually had a reunion the next year. And so I love being a Lion. I've been a Lion since 2016. And one thing most people don't know about me is when I was about 18, I met Jimi Hendrix.
Nice, that's awesome. Line Olivia?
Hi, my name is Line Olivia. I'm from the Bay Area Global Outreach. I've been a member since 2021. I am currently the second vice president. Something unique about myself is I own and manage a residential care home for the elderly, and I've been a provider for 30 years, long time.
Ooh. Thank you. Line Aura?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Line Aura Sider, and I'm from Bay Area Global Outreach, and I've been a Lion since 2008. And in the district, I have done that, did that. Thank you.
Good evening, man. I'm Lion George from Bible Lions Club, and I've been a Lion for 2008. And then I enjoy being a Lion. Thank you.
Thank you. Line Ofa?
Yes, I came right on time. My name is Opa. I am the president for Bear Islands Lions Club, and these two here are my sponsors. They brought me into the club, and I'm happy to be here. I'm learning new things, and this is going to be my second term, so I'm still learning. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. First VDG Kevin?
Good evening, everyone. I am First Vice District Governor Kevin Guest. Been in Alliance since 2012 on fast track to be governor. One thing that you guys may not know about me is I was in the very first class to begin taking AP classes in the 70s. I was the only minority.
Line John?
Hi, I'm Ryan John, Guilds, member Central Lions Club since 2005, district youth learner, currently, and a lot of other things. And what do you already know about me? You need to know that I am absolutely addicted, I might say, to the Hallyu, the Korean wave. I'm into K-pop, I'm into K-dramas, I watch this stuff all the time. I'm totally obsessed with the country. Almost find myself wanting to move there, and then I realized, well, wait a minute, that would put me right next to that idiot in North Korea, and I don't want to be that close to him. But I love the country.
Line Toli?
Hello, my name is Toli Fa. I'm a member of the Bear Islands Lions Club, and it'll be a year coming up that I've been in the club as the secretary of the club. So in hearing what everybody's saying, say something unique about yourself. So I don't know if any of you have heard the movie Interpreter. That's my movie. Just kidding. I'm an interpreter. That's what's unique about me. I'm an interpreter in my language, and the only one that's certified, I don't know, around us for several states. So I'm happy to be here to support the light in this program tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Line Toli. Line Jimmy? Last but not the least.
Lion Jimmy Hess with Bear Island Lions Club. I guess what's unique that people don't usually think about me, like I barely speak two other languages other than English. So kind of like Yvonne, people speak, they don't know that I know it, so that's about it.
What languages?
Tongan and Spanish.
Thank you so much, Line Jimmy. So, let's start our training. So lions don't just serve the world. We are the world. And our diversity means that there will always be lions ready to serve and ready to address the issues and challenges that we face. Just like how our club, when we go back to our club, we usually have some challenges and issues that we need to address. In our roles as line leaders, we each encounter challenges and opportunities. One of the most common challenge is diversity. So let's start with diversity. If you go to your next page, you would see our objectives for tonight. We have 2 objectives for tonight. I would like Carol to read the first one, please.
The objective tonight is to list the common dimensions of diversity.
Okay, the second one, Mariah?
Identify ways to leverage the division of diversity to the benefit of our clubs and the organization as a whole.
Okay, so most of you probably have seen the diversity wheel in your previous trainings. We have 2 dimensions. If you look at your handout, you will see the yellow graded wheel. Those are the primary dimensions. Primary dimensions are the things that cannot be changed, such as age, your national origin, your race, your mental ability. Those are the things that can't be changed. And we are going to always include on our primary dimensions with regards to a diverse population in our club or in our organization. So, for example, age. Tell me something about the primary dimension of age. What do you think about the age of our organization? What do you think? The members are what?
Getting older.
Older adults.
True, older adults. Anything else?
They're getting younger.
Some of them are getting younger or young members. So that being said, with regards to age is you cannot exclude whether they are old or young. So you have to include everyone, irregardless whether you're 80 years old or 20 years old, you have to include them. Okay? So what about the mental ability and physical ability? Do you think that is important? Or do you think that is relevant in our club?
It shouldn't be. Sure it is. Very relevant. Sure it's relevant. I don't think it should be relevant. I think you should be able to let people do what they can do.
Okay, Line Denise? What did Line Denise said? She said that I don't think it's relevant, but people should. Can you repeat again?
People should be allowed to do what they're able to do when they volunteer. I mean, so if you're mental, you pretty much know what those are for yourself, and so you do what you can do.
That is correct. What about Line Bonnie?
I mean, it's still relevant.
Yes.
You just assign tasks and let them do tasks that they're capable of doing. You just have to be aware of what those abilities are.
Okay, did you hear that? So she's saying that it's a little relevant because you have to consider the capabilities of that person, of what they can do and what they cannot do. Say, for example, Lions, most of our projects are physically driven. It's use of our physical abilities. But we cannot exclude those people that has physical limitations. They can do other stuff. For example, they can do registration. They can do all the calling, follow-ups, and everything. You know, they can do a lot of stuff. So we should not be excluding those that has mental or physical limitations. Line PDG Liga, I know you want to say something?
Well, I was gonna say, I thought it was relevant because for that reason, we don't want to exclude anyone, but at the same token, you don't want to make them feel unwanted or unneeded. You want to work with them in terms of what their capabilities are and give them an opportunity to participate at the level that they're capable of participating.
But who gets to make that decision?
They
Them?
do,
Okay.
they do.
Okay.
That is correct. So only themselves can decide. We cannot decide for themselves. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble. Right?
Right.
How about the race or ethnicity? If you look around us, we have so many races and so many ethnicities around the room. What do you think about the race and ethnicity? Do you think we should exclude them or include them, or what is it? What's the example of race and ethnicity? Go ahead, Lankara.
We're all different race, we're all different ethnicity, and then we should be accepted. It does not matter what their ethnicity is.
That is correct. So even if you're Filipinos, you're Chinese, you're Irish, you're Tongan, we should be working together as one. We cannot say, oh, we're not going to include him because, you know, he's Tongan. Oh, we're not going to include her because she's Vietnamese. We can't do that. Okay? It's very important to think about inclusivity with regards to diversity. So now let's go to your secondary dimensions. As you can see, there's a lot of aspects that belong to the secondary dimensions. Can you read one line, Yvonne? What are the examples of the secondary dimensions?
Marital status, education.
Okay, what can you say about the marital status and education? Anyone?
It shouldn't matter.
None of it should.
Right.
Okay, everyone agrees to that? It shouldn't matter. Regardless whether you're married, you're single, you're divorced, whatever. Doesn't matter. What about your religious beliefs? What's the example of the religious belief that is really hurting a club or an organization? Like Mariah?
One of the biggest things I think that hurts all of our clubs when it comes to religious beliefs is when we look at our own invocations. How many of our clubs use Jesus, Father, God, Amen, very Christian-centric prayer, even though we're not supposed to be a Christian-centric organization any longer?
That is correct. So just like, go ahead, Toli.
I just have a question. Is that true? Is what you just said, that we're not supposed to be express any relation to Christianity in our meetings, club meeting?
No.
I'm asking this because I didn't know.
The bylaws say that you cannot have political or religious discussions as part of your.
Okay.
But if you're gonna be inclusive to a whole group of people, like at a cabinet meeting, when you've got every possible religion there, you can't single out just one without offending someone else in the room, is what they're saying. But if you have a club that's all made up of Christians, because there are a couple of clubs that they're primarily, that's a different story, because that's the practice of that club. And someone coming into that club would recognize that and should know it walking in. But I personally, my religious beliefs should have nothing to do with the invocation at a district cabinet meeting. My opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if we said our invocation and it's toward the form or your practice, I feel that that would be all right. If somebody else says it in their way of form, it should be all right. And that's how I look at this religious practice. Whatever you practice, fine. When you say the invocation, the way you do it, fine. And if I should do mine, then you should accept that as well for me. But then again, I just wanted to get some clarification on that. I said the invocation in our last meeting, and that's why I kind of had to ask that.
Well,
Thank you.
I think with that, the other side of the coin, and total devil's advocate, because most of the people in this room know I live on my faith. But how often have we asked, even at a district meeting, someone who is not Christian-based to lead the invocation? We have people who are Jewish in our organization, Buddhist, Hindi, Islamic, non-practicing, and I haven't seen them be asked to lead an invocation at a district event in my 12 years of being alive.
And by the way, on the LCI website, there's a very nice general purpose invocation that's for all faiths.
Yes.
And so if you ever need one, you can just pick it up from there.
That's a very
It's
good
all
point,
one thing
yeah.
that you can shorten it.
That is correct.
Because that's part of this diversity. It just doesn't end on race and color and ethnicity, but it's also diversity in religion.
Well, you should be accepting of everyone's
Of
religion, but you
everyone,
shouldn't,
right.
in my opinion only, you should not put your beliefs in front of me constantly at a public meeting. That's an opinion.
Right.
We had that item
Line
come up
Michael?
at the Leo Symposium just this last weekend, and the request was that one of the advisors make an invocation, and that was interpreted as a prayer. And the dialogue took place, we did some research, an invocation and a prayer are similar. An invocation differs from a prayer in that a prayer is how you communicate with your God. It's your language, whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or the prophet, whatever. Invocation is when you get more of a general consensus. You could talk about Mother Earth, Father Time. Our group as Lions, we wish for unity and success in our shared efforts. That's an invocation. If you're saying God above or Jesus, then all of a sudden you are no longer inclusive, is what we're finding. And in Millbrae, we have 105 Leos. I'm the chair there. Some of them have shared with me that they're atheists. Some of them have shared with me abuse they've encountered from clergy. It's really tough when that is presented to them, even though it's meant to be inclusive. Hey, this is just my faith. We need to be bigger than that. And so it's a really important consideration. I really appreciate you bringing that up.
That's good. Yeah, but you have to remember also that those obstacles that we encounter with these dimensions, we can turn those into opportunities. Just like, for example, there was like holidays. Most Jewish, they don't want to hear Christmas carols. Okay? So some of the Jewish, they might not want to attend your event in December because all of you are singing Christmas carols. Instead of singing Christmas carols, you can probably do something else to make them feel included on that event. So you have to remember that when you go back to your club, make sure that you always look at those secondary dimensions, the primary dimensions, and we have to make sure that we have to include everyone. Okay? So let's go to the next page, which is, there are some questions in there on your handouts. I would like you guys to form into, let's do 3 groups. I know there's 4 questions in there. Let's do 3 groups. Group 1, these 2 rows. Group 2, those 2 rows here. And group 3 is the 3rd one. I will give you guys 10.5 minutes to collaborate with each other, okay? Talk to each other, and once you're done, you should have a leader that will discuss and bring it up to the whole group of what have you discussed. I'm sorry.
Rows will focus on.
You have, yeah, you're number 3.
And we'll share
So the last
same
2 rows are question number 3. Okay? 10.5 minutes starts now.
Ryan Roger?
I'm listening.
All you have to do is turn to Sharon, just stay right where you are.
I'm listening.
Sophia, would you like to kind of start with the first example? And build up with like prayer and meal might be one, or do your clubs share meals together?
You have to discuss the question and the possible solutions if you guys don't know what you're doing. And make sure you be prepared to share that solutions when you're done.
Like I was just thinking, we were just talking about communication. And I don't know if that would be informal. We were just talking about non-religious denominations, right?
Formal practices.
Non-religious denominations, right? So maybe you change the communication. Right.
Things I take Lance in the informal category. When my wife comes to the events with me, she doesn't like being referred to as a lady lion. She would like to be referred to as either partner in service. It's kind of informal. It's meant as a term of respect. But lady, it's kind of like towards lady. It's kind of like this elitist kind of approach. For some people, it's a little bit upsetting. I don't think it's meant to be that way, but it just sounds a little bit lofty. And I think partner in service is a great way to describe a spouse that you're into a meeting. And then when we got quite a number of female lions, the husbands, what do we call them? Lady Roger, Lady Calvin. It's like there's no term. Partner in service seems to be the one that would be more welcoming and less alien. So I think that's the kind of example. You mentioned the Pledge of Allegiance in the 1950s. The word under God became part of it. Some people just don't say that particular passage and can still participate in all ways. So there's ways to kind of flex around it, I think. But it's really important to just, in my opinion, to be aware of it and open to what people are doing. Having this frank conversation and safe is a big part of getting there where everyone feels like they're valued and can do everything they want to do.
You know, in the life, you always have flexibility. Either you believe in one God, and if you don't believe in another God, it's in you. You will have to be push other people that this is my belief. So for me, what the Alliance puts forward, I have to realize that because that's the way I believe it. That's what
What about people that maybe
you know
don't
that, yeah.
any God? There's a freedom of religion and there's freedom from religion.
Exactly, but the sensitivity is here. Either you participate or you don't participate. Remember that. Sometimes, oh, I should not be a part of that because they don't want to mention my God. Sometimes, you know, some other in life. So what they do sometimes, they just get in there and do service. And anything else. You know, but for me, I don't follow.
You understand, so it's so easy, you just allow the alternate. One meeting, you get someone leaves, an invitation from their faith. The next meeting, you do another member's faith. You just allow people the opportunity. It seems so simple to me. You're not excluding anybody. And in fact, it's an enriching experience, I think, to be able to understand. I mean, we have all kinds of religions.
When I was in the Presbyterian, we church, I was really during Christmas.
That's how it's good, so that's good.
Spoken in the prayers. So German, Spanish, French, Russian, they'll say all that, but you got to listen to it and just go through it. It doesn't matter. It's a language that you will
Right,
see
just
it
the
has
words,
to be done.
right, the words. Within the syllables, within the
Like 20 different languages, you would go through one sentence or a paragraph, you say, well, next person. That's how they do it.
I was good about it, just related. I was a district chaplain.
After in San Francisco.
And, one point three, there's even believe.
It's like so many other things.
I've been around for a long time, but of course I'm still learning.
June 17th
I was
is
approached one of the district.
June 17th. June 17th is Saturday.
Three veterans clubs.
It was just on my meeting, all I did, I thought it was everything.
San Francisco veterans.
But the thing is though, is I think that if nothing else.
Heavenly Father. And I was approached to
Working us all, looking how we do things to make sure that we're not moving into the
I said, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but I didn't say that. Usually I end up, I just end up really, you say, amen, at the end.
So you had close
And I was also following the protocol of the uniform. I have to pray. So what I'm suggesting is
Oh, yes, you're right.
As a matter of fact, I was really
You must be talking about.
I was really respectful of everybody's faith. Then and I will say that and I take it that I will be reported to
Some council or something.
I don't know what it is, but I said, I'm trying to later on, for 2 years ago, I was asking one exercise with the who I am.
So, common, it used to be, common courtesy was if you had a group and they were three different languages represented, the language everybody understood was the one that you had in your meeting. Just like Eagle said, as soon as you start walking out into those different languages, then you have three different, it's not, no longer a meeting that everybody is participating.
That's on the political spectrum?
I deal with litigation and visitation there, and I'm just easier. And I really felt like I was
Yeah. 1.5 more minutes to go. Round it up.
What did we ever get to that? I think it's just
Which is much how much a big varsity device and club fractures.
They should have
They're the one that want to stand up, they don't want to stand up.
How do we change that? How do we address that?
But
Is
it's
there a way
hard
to
to
address that?
address it when it's acceptable norms.
The other way, instead of doing this,
I don't know.
Maybe it can't be resolved, we can raise the awareness of how that makes other language people feel.
that's what this way, it changes. And
Other church that's being said too.
I think that's key. That needs to be changed and discuss it in advance, so nobody feels like they're locked into anything. So having that proactively discussed.
0.5 minutes.
The sharpness of it.
0.5 minutes. All right, time is up. Let's. Group 1. Okay, everybody. Focus now, focus. We're done. Focus.
I want you to know this is the first time.
Yes, because, yeah, so why don't we introduce you that way? And then men are introduced that way.
That's great. That's awesome. So did you hear what PDG Lydia said? She said that she really enjoyed the group discussion. She said that she used to hate the group discussions, but this discussion, she enjoyed it. Okay. Let's start for group 2 then, since you love it. Who's gonna be your speaker?
We thought we would give Second Vice District Governor
There you
Craig a
go.
chance
To speak.
work on the topic.
All right. Go ahead and read the question and share the group what you've discussed.
Hello.
Hello.
So our question was, what formal practices exist that could discourage diversity amongst members? I'm assuming that's what that means. How might these be changed? So we only had 10.5 minutes, so we focused on 2 that really jumped out at us, that I think the majority of the group kind of keyed on right away. The first one was kind of what was talked about already, but I think is kind of a big glaring thing amongst Lion events above the club level, and even sometimes at the club level, and that is the invocations. So, as was very astutely pointed out by Lion Michael, an invocation is not the same thing as a prayer. And I have sat in meetings in various places, our district and others, where the invocation came down and it was like, wow, you know what, even though it may align with my religious beliefs, I felt like it was exclusive. It was excluding, I mean, I sat in a room and I know there's a whole table of Muslim believing people wearing headscarves and their religious garb, and they're just kind of sitting through this thing going, putting up with it, not enjoying it. And at the Lions event, it should be non-denominational. And there is a PDF that was put together a couple of years ago. I think Claudia Miller was involved in it. And I have that if anybody wants it. It's about 6, 7, 8 pages of non-denominational invocations for special events, general meetings, meals, and a couple of them for memorial. And I've looked through a number of them, and I put like 6 or 7 of my favorites on my phone, because as a district officer, you never know what you're gonna be called out to do. But,
Can you share those with the group, the ones you found to be effective?
absolutely.
Can you put a link out somewhere or something, yeah?
I can send you the non-denominational one, I can send you the one I like. There's a number of those in there. Maybe after, we do a sidebar after the meeting so we don't take up too much of
That's great,
our
yeah.
instructor's time. The other item was something that I think will flash like a light bulb in your brain when you think about it, and that is languages at Lions meetings. How many times are we in a multicultural meeting and everybody's talking about what's going on, everybody's inclusive, and then suddenly this half of the room is speaking a different language, and this corner of the room has a third language, and it is no longer an inclusive meeting. Now it's three little gangs talking about who knows what amongst themselves. So I don't know how to fix that other than perhaps at the beginning of a meeting, talk about, well, welcome everybody, and remember we're trying to be inclusive and come up with a common answer to the questions we're talking about today. So let's try to make sure that all of our discussions are in a language that everybody can understand and contribute to. I'll leave it at that, and there's two other
Very
ones.
great, very good.
Well said.
Good job. Let's give them a round of applause. That's really great. Any additions on that? Anyone? Go ahead, Mike
Actually,
Calvin.
when I started doing invocations, because no one else wants to do it, I went and I think MD4, C1 or somebody, one of the districts, had a whole list of invocations, and that's what I used. Yeah,
That's
the
great.
same one.
I have that on my phone. If anybody wants it, I'll send it to you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now let's go to group 3. Who's your speaker? Our visitor Lions
Well, I don't know.
second VDG Stan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stan, Lion Stan, and I don't know actually if we answered the question, but we talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about specialty clubs. We talked about how some clubs are the way they are, and even if they don't follow all the rules of Lions, they're just the way they are. And so sometimes, and sometimes there's, I'm looking at the question here, and it's throwing me, but is there resistance to changing your environment? How can that resistance be addressed? Well, there's always resistance, and I think part of being Lions is learning to know when to object and when not to object. And like I think Melite had brought up, if you join a club and you're Jewish and everybody there is Christian, well, you probably shouldn't object to the way they conduct their services, and you have. And one of the good things about Lions is we are very diverse, and you can find a home and in a club that you'll feel comfortable in. We talked also about specialty clubs, because I'm the president of Capitola Coast Lions, and we're a specialty club, a joined together specialty club. We joined with another foundation, and it's called Common Roots Farm. But Common Roots Farm was started by a group of families who all had adult children who were handicapped. And they built 10 homes there so their children would have a place to live for the rest of their life. And they built a farm, which is a working farm with a manager, and the farm produces food for the community, and it also provides jobs for the residents of the community, so they have a purpose in life. The entire farm is wheelchair accessible. They built it like that. So it's an honor to be the president of this club, and it's just a wonderful organization. But this is a way that we serve an underserved community as Lions. And this year we're actually building a barn for them.
That's nice.
Yeah, but these are the things that we can do as Lions, and reach out to very diverse parts of the community. Anything else?
Sure. Yeah. So essentially what, to summarize, what we ended up really discussing is that we are very blessed to be in this district with so much diversity. And I think the challenge is sometimes to just, I think nothing more than checking in with each other and remembering our culture. I mean, most of us work in professional jobs, and I'm sure there's a cultural type of training that we all receive. So if we bring that with us to Lions, and we just become interested in our fellows, and we take the time to check them and find out. Because I think if we think before we open our mouths, 9 times out of 10, we're going to do the right thing. And I think a lot of times just checking in and recognizing, checking in with the people that we know about, or even remembering that there might be a difference, and just taking that moment to let them know that we see each other is really the biggest step. Because at the end of the day, we're still all part of this tribe. And this tribe is all about taking care of each other. So we just have to extend that, this particular discussion that we're talking about. If we can begin that collectively to practice that, then we're going to improve the product.
That's good, very good. That's a very good point. So just to remember this, when you encounter any obstacles, whether in your club or anywhere, just turn that obstacles into opportunities. We are very, very good at doing that, especially with our Lions family. Okay, let's go to the first question right here. Who's your speaker? Michael. You're nominated, the volunteer. You were volunteers.
We talked about the
So the
informal
question?
routines
Okay.
and customs. We talked about 3 of them in particular, and I'm shy. I'm working on my public speaking skills, so thank you very much. But we talked about 3 informal routines. One of them, one I brought up when I bring my wife to an event, and we, whether it's the new board or what have you, she's upset when she's referred to as a lady lion. And when the women lions come in, their husbands are partners in service. Why is there a difference? This whole lady lord thing sounds really entitled. So we found these 3 elements, but we also found a way to take their power away, to make them something that we can get out in front of and do something about. So I was really pleased with what we landed on. Another routine is even as simple as the Pledge of Allegiance. In the 1950s, it was added under God. Not everyone is okay with that. Not everyone is religious. And we talked about that if we make it known at the beginning of a meeting before anything, you can participate in as much as you're comfortable. You can be silent during the reciting the under God part if you want. The other piece too is Lanyoli had shared that in her role as a chaplain and a lion, she wants people to know a big part of her is her faith and to put it out there so they can know her better. I think that's a really valid point. We all want to have relationships and be meaningful. And what those 3 elements we found have in common that can kind of take the divisiveness away and bring more inclusivity is if we talk about it before and just say, we want to be this open. We're going to name what we're dealing with. We're going to give it that kind of recognition and then talk about how we're going to address it. If you want to know more about me and my faith, I'd love to talk to you about it. But being mindful that we've got Muslims or Hindus or atheists in the room, so the conversation is around us as a group as opposed to how one speaks to their God, whoever it might be. But I was just so pleased. We had a very robust conversation, great sharing of ideas, and I think it's a really smart way to solve for it, is get out in front of it and kind of let the whole room know that our intention is to be inclusive here. And maybe we don't succeed to 100%, but if everyone knows what our intentions are, it just lightens that, how heavy that can be in terms of a burden. So I was really happy to work with this group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Group 1. So, as you can hear, you have all different ideas and solutions to all these questions that we've discussed tonight. So reflecting on those questions and the responses, I would like you guys to bring it back to your club. Go think and try to think deeply and see what you can help your club and share what you've learned tonight. And how can you strengthen the support of diversity that currently exists? And what can I do to reduce the obstacles? What do you think can you do? And what are the new measures that I can support to help my club to benefit from the ideas and talents that diversity can bring? Isn't it that's very powerful? Don't you think? As Albert Einstein says, the significant problems we face cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them. Think about that. The significant problems we face cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them. You have to remember, creativity and opportunities to look at things in a different way can be extremely helpful to address the challenges we face. And taking advantage of the contributions of the diverse group in our club and our organizations. We as Lions have accomplished so much by embracing diversity. So let's continue to inspire one another and serve as one and help each other. Again, thank you so much for coming in here tonight, and I hope you've learned a little and you can share it to your club and wherever you're going. Again, thank you so much. Applause to all of you. Now the food is here. Help yourself. There's pizzas and there's chicken Alfredo on the side with salad, some cookies. There's water. I don't have any alcohol. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all.
That's okay. Let's open this.
Are you going to see Kevin?
Thank you.
In the next few days?
The pizza is on the
The PCO
hallway.
check, I can mail it to him.
Yes, in the hallway.
I'll mail it. Yellow is out of the question. Because the two companies that make them have discontinued them. So, and I laughed. And I thought it was
Yeah, did they do a good job?
Huh? You want to do gray?
Gray on gray? No. What else you got?
How did I do?
Red, blue, a couple of different blues. You've got green, you've got white.
How did I do?
You've got beige.
I flunked?
Oh, yeah.
You want to read all the things you did do? You want to read all the things you did? Go ahead and read it.
How did you do that? He's the counting on steps 1 to 10, guys.
No, I will order some stuff in a little bit.
You can just say,